Hi, today for 3 Questions with an Elk, we're talking to Warene Wall. Warene is a member of the Red Lodge Beartooth Montana Lodge number 534. She is the Lodge Veterans Chair and she's the state ENVSC Chair since 2016. Hi Warene, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. For our first of 3 questions, why do you volunteer for veterans?
I've had a lot of family members over the years who have served beginning in World War II. And then my son, Steve, is retired Army Special Forces. And so having seen what the veterans have gone through and what their families have experienced as well, I just have a passion for our veterans and their families.
What are your favorite programs that you organize or participate in as a volunteer for veterans?
My all-time favorite is probably the Veterans Job Training Program. We received 2 impact grants back to back from the ENF and from the NVSC. And at the time that we did this, we were thinking outside the box because in the state of Montana at that time, there were no job training programs of any kind for veterans or service members who were transitioning back into the civilian market. At that time, there were 18,000 service members that were projected to reintegrate into their communities in the state of Montana. And without a program to help them with that transition, it just wasn't acceptable. So we developed a rather intense program where we brought veterans and their spouses or significant other from around the state. We paid all of their expenses, and we began on Friday night with a get to know you dinner. Then we had sessions all day Saturday, dinner Saturday night, and then sessions Sunday morning. And those sessions provided assistance to the veterans. We actually translated their military experience into the civilian job market. And it was amazing that some of those veterans didn't think they had anything that would translate and transfer. But after the discussions that we had, there was one that I remember, and he said, "Well, I don't know what I'm going to do," because he said, I was in demolition. And we said, "Well, we've got great news for you because the railroads and all the mines in Montana use demolition experts." So it just was so important that they understand that everything that they had learned during their military service actually could translate into the civilian market. Once that was done, then we taught them how to write a resume. We did business etiquette, how to interview, and then how to follow up with the interview. And I'm really pleased to say that we had 48 veterans who participated in the program. And by the end of the sessions, we had 2 that had decided that they were going to actually start their own businesses. It hadn't occurred to them that they had the skills to do that. And so it was an incredible success. And now there are a lot of programs in the state who are helping with the transition. But we were the first, and really proud that we were able to do that, and very thankful to all of you for giving us the impact grants.
Well, I'm glad you were able to have such an individualized program like that. It's not always common to have one-on-one assistance that way.
Yeah, and then my other one, though, I have 2. The other one is what we currently do, and we've done it for several years now. And part of it is through the Freedom Grant. And this is where we provide emergency and short-term assistance to veterans and their families. And it may be paying rent to prevent homelessness, um, paying utilities to either restore service or to prevent it from being shut off, food cards, gas cards, so that they can get to their medical appointments or to work, clothing, because we have severe winters here. Um, Whatever they need, we have the capacity to respond to that and provide assistance. Our lodge collaborates with the Yellow Ribbon community, so that we have a real good insight into the needs in the veteran community. So it's that is really gratifying to know that we can deliver food or pay for a prescription, or do whatever it is that the veteran or their family member needs.
That partnership you have with the Yellow Ribbon communities is a great example of how lodges can work with the community to reach out to veterans who are in need and find the right people.
Yeah. We've developed a great resource list.
Yeah.
So we collaborate with the VFW, the American Legion. They actually have their meetings in the Veterans Center in the lower level of our lodge that we created several years ago. Through those organizations, people who call the Elks, through our PSAs that we do on the radio and have articles in the paper, and through our churches, we get, there's a lot of synergy in our community and a lot of focus on veterans and their families.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So for our third question, we have kind of a fun one. What's your favorite song, especially to listen to in the car?
Well, I'm big on patriotic songs.
Okay.
My favorite Christmas song would be Mary Do You Know, and country. Um, I was going to Glasgow for our spring officers meeting, and I listened to Prime Country and Elvis and Sinatra and all of those for 5 hours one way and 5 hours back. So I have one favorite.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. You've given some great examples of how Elks can serve veterans in their communities.
Well, thank you for having me. I miss seeing you guys so much.
I know. Hopefully we'll get to see each other again soon.
Yes, hopefully. Take care.
Take care.